नाथ नारायण वासुदेव नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। जय जय गोविंद जय हरि गोविंद
जय गोविंद जय हरि गोविंद
जय जय गोविंद जय हरि गोविंद
जय गोविंद जय हरि गोविंद
जय 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 जय
Hari Om everyone. Can you all see me and hear me clearly? Awesome. I was caught up in a phone call that it took a little longer than usual while trying to set this up. It was a urgent call, so I had to use about 4 minutes of this time. We will catch up in the Lalita Sahasranamam. But thank you for waiting. Hope all of you are doing well and pray that you had an amazing Vijayadashami and Navaratri celebrations with all the Bomme, Golu visiting each other, and you should have a stockpile of chana at your home, having received it, having given it. So hope you have good time. We had an awesome 8 days of chanting, and yesterday we had Vijayadashami celebrations. So Vijayadashami Shubha Kamana to all of you. May Mother Bhagavati and Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji bless us all with the strength, courage and wisdom, and the love for Sanatana Dharma. And as Bhagavan Krishna puts it, he says, Dharma is ever Sanatana, provided the Sanatani that we are put that Dharma into our life in the form of practice. Without that practice and standing up for it, nothing can ever be successfully achieved. So with that prayer, with that sankalpa, let us begin the invocation. Then we'll go through Lalita Sahasranamam, and then we get into the 6th or 7th chapter. I fail to recognize, but I'll see it when we get to Bhagavatam. So let us begin. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. When the Vedic mantras are chanted, like in the 9 days of puja, Sahana Bhavatu Purnamadaha, it sounded more like a singing. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu. Now, instead of singing, it has to be a Vedic chant, a very crisp chant. And that is why I had requested on the first day that please listen in and match your voices to what we are chanting. But one can only request, I guess, when there are that many people. But still, it had to be mentioned. So let us begin. Om Aim Hrim Shrim Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinenam Manikyamauli Sphurat Taranayaka Shekharam Smitamukhim Apinavakshoruham Panibhyam Malipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Bibhratim Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam Arunam Karunatarangitakshim Dhridapashankusha Pushpabana Chapam Animadibhiravratam Mayukhaihi Ahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavanim Dhyayet Padmasanastham Vikasitavadanam Padmapatrayatakshim हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसद्धेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहसितेक्षणां सशरचापपाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीमरुणमाल्यभूषाम्बरां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविधौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम्। ओम श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरा मज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला चम्पकाशोकपुन्नागसौगन्धिकलसत्कचा कुरुविन्दमणिश्रेणी कनत्कोटीरमण्डिता अष्टमी चंद्र विभ्राजदलिकस्थलशोभिता मुखचंद्रकलंकाभा मृगनाभिविशेषका वदनस्मर मांगल्य गृहतोरणचिल्लिका वक्त्रलक्ष्मी परिवाह चलन्मीनाभलोचना नवचंपकपुष्पाभा नासादण्डविराजिता ताराकान्तितिरस्कारी नासाभरणभासुरा कदम्ब मंजरी क्लुप्त कर्णपूरमनोहरा ताटंकयुगलीभूता तपनोडुपमण्डला पद्मरागशिलादर्श परिभाविकपोलभूः नवविद्रुम बिंबश्री नक्कारी रदनच्छदा शुद्ध विद्यांकुराकार द्विजपंक्तिद्वयोज्ज्वला कर्पूरवीटिकामोद समाकर्षिदिगंतरा निजसल्लाप माधुर्य विनिर्भत्सित कच्छपी मंदस्मित प्रभापूरा मज्जत्कामेश मानसा अनाकलित सादृश्य चिबुक श्री विराजिता कामेशबद्ध मांगल्य सूत्रशोभित कंधरा कनकांगद केयूर कमनीय भुजान्विता रत्नग्रैवे यचिंता कलोल मुक्ता फलान्विता कामेश्वर प्रेम रत्न मणि प्रतिपणस्तनी नाभ्यालवाल रोमाली लता फलकुचद्वयी लक्ष रोमलताधार तासमुन्नेय मध्यमा स्तनभारदलन्मध्य पट्टबन्धवलित्रया अरुणारुण कौस्तुम्भ वस्त्रभास्वत्कटीतटी रत्नकिङ्किणिकारम्य रशनादामभूषिता कामेशज्ञात सौभाग्य मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता माणिक्यमुकुटाकार जानुद्वय विराजिता इंद्रगोपरिक्षिप्त स्मरत्तूर्णाभजङ्गिका गूढगुल्फा कूर्मपृष्ठा जयिष्णुप्रपदान्विता नखदीदिति सञ्छन्ना नमज्जनतमो गुणा पदद्वय प्रभाजाला पराकृतसरोरुहा सिञ्जाणमणिमञ्जीर मण्डित श्रीपदाम्बुजा मरालीमन्दगमना महालावण्यशेवदी सर्वारुणानवद्यांगी सर्वाभरणभूषिता शिवकामेश्वराङ्कस्था शिवा स्वाधीनवल्लभा सुमेरुमध्यशृङ्गस्था श्रीमन्नगरनायिका चिन्तामणिगृहान्तस्था पञ्चब्रह्मासनस्थिता महापद्माटवी संस्था कदम्बवनवासिनी सुधासागरमध्यस्था कामाक्षी कामदायिनी देवर्षिगणसङ्गाता स्तूयमानात्मवैभवा भण्डासुरवधोद्युक्ता शक्तिसेना समन्विता सम्पत्करी समारूढा सिन्धुरव्रजसेविता अश्वारूढातिष्ठिताश्वा कोटिकोटिभिरावृता चक्रराजरथारूढ़ा सर्वायुधपरिष्कृता गेयचक्ररथारूढ़ा मंत्रिणी परिसेविता गिरिचक्ररथारूढ़ा दंडनाथा पुरस्कृता ज्वालामालिनिकाक्षिप्त वह्नि प्राकारमध्यगा भण्डसैन्यवधोद्युक्ता शक्तिविक्रमहर्षिता नित्या पराक्रमाटोपा निरीक्षण समुत्सुका भण्डपुत्रवधोद्युक्ता बाला विक्रमनंदिता मंत्रिण्यंबा विरचिता विषंगवदतोषिता विशुक्रप्राणहरण वाराही वीर्यनंदिता कामेश्वर मुखालोका कल्पित श्री गणेश्वर महागणेश निर्भिन्न विघ्न यंत्र प्रहर्षिता भंडा सुरेंद्र निर्मुक्ता शस्त्र प्रत्यस्त्र वर्षिणी करांगुलिन खोत्पन्न नारायण दशाकृति महापाशुपतास्त्राग्नि निर्दग्धा सुरसैनिका कामेश्वरास्त्र निर्दग्धा सभंडा सुरशून्यका ब्रह्मोपेन्द्र महेन्द्रादि देव संस्तुत वैभवा हर नेत्राग्नि संदग्धा काम संजीवन औषधि श्रीमद्वाग्भव कूटैका स्वरूप मुखपंकजा कंठादकटिपर्यंत मध्यकूट स्वरूपिणी शक्तिकूटैकतापन्न कट्यदोभागधारिणी मूलमंत्रात्मिका मूल कूटत्रयकलेवरा कुलामृतैक रसिका कुल संकेतपालिनी कुलांगना कुलांतस्था कुल कौलिनी कुलयोगिनी अकुला समयांतस्था समय आचार तत्परा मूलाधारैक निलया ब्रह्मग्रंथि विभेदिनी मणिपूरान्तरुदिता विष्णुग्रंथि विभेदिनी आज्ञाचक्रान्तरालस्था रुद्रग्रंथि विभेदिनी सहस्राराम्बुजारूढ़ा सुधा साराभिवर्षिणी तडिल्लता समरुचि षट्चक्रोपरि संस्थिता महाशक्तिः कुण्डलिनी विसदन्तुतनीयसी भवानी भावनागम्या भवारण्यकुठारिका भद्रप्रिया भद्रमूर्तिर्भक्तसौभाग्यदायिनी भक्तिप्रिया भक्तिगम्या भक्तिवश्या भयापहा शाम्भवी शारदाराध्या शर्वाणी शर्मदायिनी शाङ्करी श्रीकरी साध्वी शरच्चन्द्रनिभानना शातोदरी शान्तिमती निराधारा निरञ्जना निर्लेपा निर्मला नित्या निराकारा निराकुला निर्गुणा निष्कला शांता निष्कामा निरुपप्लवा नित्यमुक्ता निर्विकारा निष्प्रपंचा निराश्रया नित्यशुद्धा नित्यबुद्धा निरवध्या निरंतरा निष्कारणा निष्कलंका निरुपाधिर्निरीश्वरा नीरागारा गमथनी निर्मदा मदनाशिनी निश्चिंता निरहंकारा निर्मोहा मोहनाशिनी निर्ममा ममताहंत्री निष्पापा पापनाशिनी निष्क्रोधा क्रोधशमनी निर्लोभा लोभनाशिनी निस्संशया संशयग्नि निर्भवा भवनाशिनी निर्विकल्पा निराबाधा निर्भेदा भेदनाशिनी निर्नाशा मृत्युमथनी निष्क्रिया निष्परिग्रहा निस्तुला नीलचिकुरा निरपाया निरत्यया दुर्लभा दुर्गमा दुर्गा दुःखहंत्री सुखप्रदा दुष्टदूरा दुराचारा शमनी दोषवर्जिता सर्वज्ञा सान्द्रकरुणा समाना अधिकवर्जिता सर्वशक्तिमयी सर्वमंगला सद्गतिप्रदा सर्वेश्वरी सर्वमयी सर्वमंत्रस्वरूपिणी सर्वयंत्रात्मिका सर्वतंत्ररूपा मनोन्मनी माहेश्वरी महादेवी महालक्ष्मीर्मृणप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्वा महाशक्तिर्महारतिः महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धिर्महासिद्धिर्महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्रा महामंत्रा महायंत्रा महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पा महातांडवसाक्षिणी महाकामेश महिषी महात्रिपुरसुंदरी चतुष्षष्टिपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटि योगिनी गणसेविता मनुविद्या चंद्रविद्या चंद्रमंडलमध्यगा चारुरूपा चारुहासा चारुचंद्रकलाधरा चराचर जगन्नाथा चक्रराजनिकेतना पार्वती पद्मनयना पद्मराग समप्रभा पंचप्रेतासनासीना पंचब्रह्मस्वरूपिणी चिन्मयी परमानंदा विज्ञान घनरूपिणी ध्यानध्यात्रध्येयरूपा धर्माधर्म विवर्जिता विश्वरूपा जागरिणी स्वपन्ती तैजसात्मिका सुप्ता प्राज्ञात्मिका तुर्या सर्वावस्था विवर्जिता सृष्टिकर्त्री ब्रह्मरूपा गोप्त्री गोविंदरूपिणी संहारिणी रुद्ररूपा तिरोधानकरीश्वरी सदाशिवानुग्रहदा पंचकृत्य परायणा भानुमंडल मध्यस्था भैरवी भगमालिनी पद्मासना भगवती पद्मनाभ सहोदरी उन्मेष निमिषोत्पन्न विपन्न भुवनावली सहस्रशीर्षवदना सहस्राक्षी सहस्रपात आब्रह्मकीट जननी वर्णाश्रम विधायिनी निजाज्ञारूप निगमा पुण्या पुण्यफलप्रदा श्रुति सीमंत सिंदूरी कृतपादाब्जधूलिका सकलागम संदोहा शुक्ति संपुट मुक्तिका पुरुषार्थ प्रदा पूर्णा भोगिनी भुवनेश्वरी अंबिकानादि निधना हरिब्रह्मेन्द्र सेविता नारायणी नादरूप नामरूप विवर्जिता ह्रींकारी ह्रीमती हृदया हेयोपादेयवर्जिता राजराजार्चिता राज्ञी रम्या राजीवलोचना रंजनी रमणी रस्या रणत्किंकिणी मेखला रमा राकेन्दुवदना रतिरूपा रतिप्रिया रक्षाकरी राक्षसग्नि रामा रमणलंपटा काम्या कामकलारूपा कदम्ब कुसुमप्रिया कल्याणी जगती कंदा करुणा रससागरा कलावती कलालापा कांता कादंबरी प्रिया वरदा वामनयना वारुणी मदविह्वला विश्वादिका वेदवेद्या विंध्याचल निवासिनी विधात्री वेद जननी विष्णुमाया विलासिनी क्षेत्रस्वरूपा क्षेत्रेशी क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञपालिनी क्षयवृद्धि विनिर्मुक्ता क्षेत्रपाल समर्चिता विजया विमला वंद्या वंदारुजनवत्सला वाग्वादिनी वामकेशी वह्निमंडलवासिनी भक्तिमत्कल्पलतिका पशुपाश विमोचनी संहृता शेषपाषण्ड सदाचार प्रवर्तिका तापत्रयाग्निसंतप्ता समाह्लादन चंद्रिका तरुणी तापसाराध्या तनुमध्या तमोपहा चितिस्तत्पदलक्ष्यार्था चिदेकरसरूपिणी स्वात्मानंदलवीभूता ब्रह्माद्यानंदसंततिः परा प्रत्यक्षिती रूपा पश्यन्ती परदेवता मध्यमा वैखरी रूपा भक्तमानसांसिका कामेश्वर प्राणनाडी कृतज्ञा कामपूजिता श्रृंगार रस संपूर्णा जया जालंधर स्थिता ओड्यानपीठ निलया बिंदुमंडलवासिनी रहो यागक्रमाराध्या रहस्तर्पण तर्पिता सद्य प्रसादिनी विश्वसाक्षिणी साक्षिवर्जिता षडंग देवता युक्ता षाड्गुण्य परिपूरिता नित्यक्लिन्ना निरुपमा निर्वाण सुखदायिनी नित्या षोडशिका रूपा श्रीकंठार्ध शरीरिणी प्रभावती प्रभारूपा प्रसिद्धा परमेश्वरी मूल प्रकृतिरव्यक्ता व्यक्ता व्यक्तस्वरूपिणी व्यापिनी विविधाकारा विद्या विद्यास्वरूपिणी महाकामेश नयना कुमुदाह्लाद कौमुदी भक्तहार्दतमोभेदा भानुमद्भानुसंततिः शिवदूती शिवाराध्या शिवमूर्तिशिवंकरी शिवप्रिया शिवपरा शिष्टेष्टा शिष्टपूजिता अप्रमेया स्वप्रकाशा मनोवाचामगोचरा चिच्छक्तिश्चेतना रूपा जडशक्तिर्जडात्मिका गायत्री व्याहृति संध्या द्विजवृंद निषेविता तत्वासना तत्वमयी पंचकोशांतरस्थिता निस्सीम महिमा नित्य यौवनामदशालिनी मदघूर्णित रक्ताक्षी मदपाटलगंडभूः चंदनद्रव दिग्धांगी चांपेय कुसुम प्रिया कुशला कोमलाकारा कुरुकुल्ला कुलेश्वरी कुलकुंडालया कौल मार्ग तत्पर सेविता कुमार गणनाथांबा तुष्टिपुष्टिर्मतिर्धतिः शांति स्वस्तिमती कांतिर्नंदिनी विघ्ननाशिनी तेजोवती त्रिनयना लोलाक्षी कामरूपिणी मालिनी हंसिनी माता मलयाचलवासिनी सुमुखी नलिनी शुभ्रू शोभना सुरनायिका कालकंठी कांतिमती क्षोभिनी सूक्ष्मरूपिणी वज्रेश्वरी वामदेवी वयोवस्था विवर्जिता सिद्धेश्वरी सिद्धविद्या सिद्धमाता यशस्विनी विशुद्धिचक्रनिलया रक्तवर्णा त्रिलोचना खट्वांगादि प्रहरणा वदनैक समन्विता पायसान्न प्रिया त्वक्स्था पशुलोकभयंकरी अमृतादि महाशक्ति संवृता डाकिनीश्वरी अनाहताब्ज निलया श्यामा भावदनद्वया वदनद्वया दंष्टोज्ज्वलाक्षमालादि धरा रुधिर संस्थिता कालरात्र्यादि शक्त्यौघा वृता स्निग्धौदन प्रिया महावीरेन्द्र वरदा राकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी मणिपूराब्ज निलया वदनत्रय संयुता वज्रादिकायुधोपेता डामर्यादिभिरावृता रक्तवर्णा मांसनिष्ठा गुडान्न प्रीतमानसा समस्त भक्त सुखदा लाकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी स्वाधिष्ठानां भुजगता चतुर्वक्त्र मनोहरा शूलाद्यायुध संपन्ना पीतवर्णाति गर्विता मेदोनिष्ठा मधुप्रीता बंधिन्यादि समन्विता दध्यन्नासक्त हृदया काकिनी रूपधारिणी मूलाधाराम्बुजारूढ़ा पंचवक्त्रास्ति संस्थिता अंकुशादि प्रहरणा वरदादि निषेविता मुद्गौदनासक्तचित्ता साकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी आज्ञाचक्राब्ज निलया शुक्लवर्णा षडानना मज्जा संस्था हंसवती मुख्यशक्ति समन्विता हरिद्रानैक रसिका हाकिनी रूपधारिणी सहस्रदल पद्मस्था सर्ववर्णोपशोभिता सर्वायुधधरा शुक्ला संस्थिता सर्वतोमुखी सर्वौदन प्रीतचित्ता याकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी स्वाहा स्वधा मतिर्मेधा श्रुतिस्मृतिरनुत्तमा पुण्यकीर्ति पुण्यलभ्या पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना पुलोमजार्चिता बंध मोचनी बंधुरालका विमर्शरूपिणी विद्या वेदाद्यगत्प्रसूः सर्वव्याधि प्रशमनी सर्वमृत्युनिवारिणी अग्रगण्या चिन्त्यरूपा कलिकल्मषनाशिनी कात्यायनी कालहंत्री कमलाक्षनिषेविता ताम्बूलपूरितमुखी दाडिमी कुसुमप्रभा मृगाक्षी मोहिनी मुख्या मृडा निमित्ररूपिणी नित्यतृप्ता भक्तनिधिर्नियंत्री निखिलेश्वरी मैत्र्यादिवासनालभ्या महाप्रलय साक्षिणी पराशक्ति परानिष्ठा प्रज्ञान घन रूपिणी माध्वी पानाल सामत्ता मातृकावर्ण रूपिणी महाकैलास निलया मृणाल मृदोर्लता महनीया दया मूर्तिर्महासाम्राज्यशालिनी आत्मविद्या महाविद्या श्रीविद्या कामसेविता श्री षोडशाक्षरी विद्या त्रिकूटा कामकोटिका कटाक्ष किंकरी भूता कमला कोटिसेविता शिरस्थिता चंद्रनिभा भालस्तेन्द्रधनुप्रभा हृदयस्तार विप्रख्या त्रिकोणांतरदीपिका दाक्षायनी दैत्यहंत्री दक्ष यज्ञविनाशिनी दरांदोलित दीर्घाक्षी दरहा सोज्वलन्मुखी गुरुमूर्तिर्गुणनिधिर्गोमाता गुहजन्मभूः देवेशी दंडनीतिस्था दहर आकाशरूपिणी प्रतिपन्मुख्य राकांता तिथिमंडल पूजिता कलात्मिका कलानाथा काव्यालाप विनोदिनी सचामर रमावाणी सव्य दक्षिण सेविता आदिशक्तिरमेयात्मा परमा पावनाकृतिः अनेक कोटि ब्रह्मांड जननी दिव्य विग्रह क्लींकारी केवला गुह्या कैवल्यपदायिनी त्रिपुरा त्रिजगद्वन्द्या त्रिमूर्तिस्तदशेश्वरी त्र्यक्षरी दिव्यगन्धाढ्या सिन्दूरतिलकाञ्चिता उमा शैलेन्द्रतनया गौरी गन्धर्वसेविता विश्वगर्भा स्वर्णगर्भा वरदा वागधीश्वरी ध्यानगम्या परिच्छेद्या ज्ञानदाज्ञानविग्रहा सर्ववेदान्तसंवेद्या सत्यानन्दस्वरूपिणी लोपामुद्रार्चिता लीला क्लुप्तब्रह्माण्डमण्डला अदृश्यादृश्यरहिता विज्ञात्री वेदवर्जिता योगिनी योगदा योग्या योगानन्दा युगन्धरा इच्छाशक्ति ज्ञानशक्ति क्रियाशक्तिस्वरूपिणी सर्वाधारा सुप्रतिष्ठा सदसद्रूपधारिणी अष्टमूर्तिरजा जैत्री लोकयात्रा विधायिनी एकाकिनी भूमरूपा निर्द्वैताद्वैतवर्जिता अन्नदा वसुधा वृद्धा ब्रह्मात्मैक्यस्वरूपिणी बृहती ब्राह्मणी ब्राह्मी ब्रह्मानंद बलिप्रिया भाषा रूपा बृहत्सेना भावा भाव विवर्जिता सुखाराध्या शुभकरी शोभना सुलभा गतिः राजराजेश्वरी राज्यदायिनी राज्यवल्लभा राजत्कृपा राजपीठ निवेशित निजाश्रिता राज्यलक्ष्मी कोशनाथा चतुरंगबलेश्वरी साम्राज्यदायिनी सत्यसंधा सागरमेखला दीक्षिता दैत्यशमनी सर्वलोकवशंकरी सर्वार्थदात्री सावित्री सच्चिदानंदरूपिणी देशकाला परिच्छिन्ना सर्वगा सर्वमोहिनी सरस्वती शास्त्रमयी गुहाम्बा गुह्यरूपिणी सर्वोपाधि विनिर्मुक्ता सदाशिवपतिव्रता संप्रदायेश्वरी साध्वी गुरुमंडलरूपिणी कुलोत्तीर्णा भगाराध्या माया मधुमतीमही गणाम्बा गुह्यकाराध्या कोमलांगी गुरुप्रिया स्वतंत्रा सर्वतंत्रेशी दक्षिणामूर्तिरूपिणी सनकादिसमाराध्या शिवज्ञानप्रदायिनी चित्कलानंदकलिका प्रेमरूपा प्रियंकरी नामपारायण प्रीता नंदिविद्या नटेश्वरी मिथ्या जगदधिष्ठाना मुक्तिदा मुक्तिरूपिणी लास्य प्रिया लयकरी लज्जारंबादिवंदिता भवदा वसुधा वृष्टि पापारण्यदवानला दौर्भाग्यतूलवातूला जराध्वांतर विप्रभा भाग्याब्धिचंद्रिका भक्त चित्तकेकी घना घना रोग पर्वत दंबोलिर मृत्युदारु कुठारिका महेश्वरी महाकाली महाग्रासा महाशना अपर्णा चंडिका चंड मुंडासुर निषूदिनी क्षराक्षरात्मिका सर्वलोकेशी विश्वधारिणी त्रिवर्गदा त्रिसुभगा त्र्यंबका त्रिगुणात्मिका स्वर्गापवर्गदा शुद्धा जपा पुष्पनिभाकृतिः ओजोवती द्युतिधरा यज्ञरूपा प्रियव्रता दुराराध्या दुराधर्षा पाटली कुसुमप्रिया महती मेरुनिलया मंदार कुसुमप्रिया वीराराध्या विराडरूपा विरजा विश्वतोमुखी प्रत्यग्रूपा पराकाशा प्राणदा प्राणरूपिणी मार्ताण्डभैरवाराध्या मंत्रिणी न्यस्तराज्यदूः त्रिपुरेशी जयत्सेना निस्त्रैगुण्या परापरा सत्यज्ञानानन्दरूपा सामरस्य परायणा कपर्दिनी कलामाला कामधुक्कामरूपिणी कलानिधे काव्यकला रसज्ञा रससेवदिः पुष्टा पुरातना पूज्या पुष्करा पुष्करेक्षणा परञ्ज्योतिः परन्धामा परमाणुः परात्परा पाशहस्ता पाशहंत्री परमंत्र विभेदिनी मूर्ता मूर्ता नित्यतृप्ता मुनिमानसहंसिका सत्यव्रता सत्यरूपा सर्वांतर्यामिनी सती ब्रह्माणी ब्रह्मजननी बहुरूपा बुधार्चिता प्रसवेत्री प्रचंडाज्ञा प्रतिष्ठा प्रकटाकृतिः प्राणेश्वरी प्राणदात्री पंचाशत्पीठरूपिणी विशृंखला विविक्तस्था वीरमाता वियत्प्रसूः मुकुंदा मुक्तिनिलया मूलविग्रहरूपिणी भावज्ञा भवरोगग्नि भवचक्रप्रवर्तिनी छन्दस्सारा शास्त्रसारा मंत्रसारा तलोदरी उदारकीर्तिरुद्दाम वैभव अवर्णरूपिणी जन्म मृत्युजरातप्त जन विश्रांतिदायिनी सर्वोपनिषदुद्घुष्टा शान्त्यतीता कलात्मिका गंभीरा गगनान्तस्था गर्विता गानलोलुपा कल्पनारहिता काष्ठा कांता कांतार्धविग्रहा कार्यकारण निर्मुक्ता कामकेली तरंगिता कनत कनकताटंका लीला विग्रहधारिणी अजाक्षय विनिर्मुक्ता मुग्धा क्षिप्रप्रसादिनी अंतर्मुख समाराध्या बहिर्मुख सुदुर्लभा त्रयी त्रिवर्ग निलया त्रिस्था त्रिपुरमालिनी निरामया निरालंबा स्वात्मा रामा सुधाश्रुतिः संसार पंक निर्मग्न समुद्धरण पंडिता यज्ञप्रिया यज्ञकर्त्री यजमानस्वरूपिणी धर्माधारा धनाध्यक्षा धनधान्य विवर्धिनी विप्रप्रिया विप्ररूपा विश्वभ्रमणकारिणी विश्वग्रासा विद्रुमाभा वैष्णवी विष्णुरूपिणी अयोनिर्योनिनिलया कूटस्थाकुलरूपिणी वीरगोष्ठी प्रिया वीरा नैष्कर्म्यानादरूपिणी विज्ञानकलनाकल्या विदग्धा बैन्दवासना तत्वाधिका तत्वमयी तत्वमर्थस्वरूपिणी सामगानप्रिया सौम्या सदाशिवकुटुम्बिनी सव्यापसव्य मार्गस्था सर्वापद्विनिवारिणी स्वस्था स्वभाव मधुरा धीरा धीर समर्चिता चैतन्यार्घ्य समाराध्या चैतन्य कुसुम प्रिया सदोदिता सदातुष्टा तरुण आदित्य पाटला दक्षिणा दक्षिणाराध्या दरस्मेर मुखाम्बुजा कौलिनी केवल अनर्घ्या कैवल्यपददायिनी स्तोत्र प्रिया स्तुतिमती श्रुति संस्तुत वैभवा मनस्विनी मानवती महेशी मंगलाकृति विश्वमाता जगद्धात्री विशालाक्षी विरागिनी प्रगल्भा परमोदारा परामोदा मनोमयी व्योमकेशी विमानस्था वज्रिणी वामकेश्वरी पंचयज्ञ प्रिया पंच प्रेत मंचादिशायिनी पंचमी पंचभूतेशी पंचसंख्योपचारिणी शाश्वती शाश्वतैश्वर्या शर्मदा शंभुमोहिनी धराधर सुताधन्या धर्मिणी धर्मवर्धिनी लोकातीता गुणातीता सर्वातीता शमात्मिका बंधु कुसुम प्रख्या बाला लीला विनोदिनी सुमंगली सुखकरी सुवेशा अढ्या सुवासिनी सुवासिन्यर्चन प्रीता शोभना शुद्ध मानसा बिंदुतर्पण संतुष्टा पूर्वजा त्रिपुरांबिका दशमुद्रा समाराध्या त्रिपुरा श्रीवशंकरी ज्ञानमुद्रा ज्ञानगम्या ज्ञानज्ञेय स्वरूपिणी योनिमुद्रा त्रिकंडेशी त्रिगुणा अंबा त्रिकोणगा अनघाद्भुत चारित्र्या वांछिता अर्थप्रदायिनी अभ्यासातिशय ज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याज करुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वांत दीपिका आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्यंघ शासना श्रीचक्रराज निलया श्रीमत् त्रिपुर सुंदरी श्री शिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्य रूपिणी ललितांबिका एवं श्री ललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकं जगुः इति श्री ब्रह्मांड पुराणे उत्तरखंडे श्री हयग्रीवागस्य संवादे श्री ललिता सहस्रनाम स्तोत्र कथनं संपूर्णम्. Just give me a couple of minutes, I'll be back. You all can hear me clearly? Okay, good. Let us begin the invocation of Bhagavat Mahapurana. सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयः यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमः निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्. श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. That portion of the story where Bhagwan Shiva with Sati ji on his shoulder and carrying across, that portion has been not narrated here. Maitreya Ji very cleanly edited that out. That portion we will see it in Shiva Purana and various other places. So that portion we are not touching here. So what has happened so far? Daksha Yajna Vinasha. Daksha Yajna Vinasha, the destruction of Daksha Yajna has happened. Everything is distraught. Everybody is running here and there. They grouped. They reached to Brahmaji. Brahmaji said, there is only one person who can find a remedy for this, and it is Lord Shiva himself. Let us go to Bhagwan Shiva and make sure that Bhagwan is pleased and he will give us the solutions. So occupy Kailash. So the entire team who all went, we will see in this chapter. Entire team under the leadership of Bhagwan Brahmaji reached to Kailasha. So last chapter we saw the entire description of Kailasha and the trek to Kailasha, very beautifully described in the 6th chapter of the 4th canto. Now in the 7th canto, having reached there, having offered the namaskara, expecting the chamatkara from Bhagwan Shiva. So that is where we begin. Maitreya Uvacha. इत्यजेनानुनीतेन भवेन परितुष्यता अभ्यधायी महाबाहो प्रहस्य श्रूयतामिति. So when Hey Mahabaho Vidurji, who is addressing Maitreya Ji, said when Bhagwan Brahmaji, having reached to Bhagwan Shankara, did offer his prayers and also his request. Now looking at that request, Sri Mahadeva Uvacha. Among the Devatas, he is considered as the greatest because of his tapas shakti, constantly in his tapas. Such Mahadeva, he started speaking. Nagham prajesha balanam varnaye nanuchintaye. O Brahmaji, the father of the Prajapatis, Bhagwan's Maya is quite vichitra. In according to that Maya, this Daksha Prajapati as a child behaved and said several things. Now to such ones, neither do I want to discuss about it, nor do I remember such things. Meaning, forgive, forget, and stay above. When a dushta speaks, it only shows about their dushtata. A jnani never indulges in getting down to their level. See, when we know that there is a idiot or a fool that is vehemently arguing, the moment we try to get down to justify, we have elevated that individual by stooping ourselves low. So Bhagavan said, Na varnaye, na anuchintaye. Neither do I want to describe it and indulge in it, nor do I want to think about it, forgotten, long gone. But it is definitely Bhagwan's Maya how even a Prajapati loses his sense of balance. होता है, एक बड़ी सी जिंदगी में छोटे छोटे चीज होते रहते हैं, होता है. And for whatever that he has done, according to the karma, the danda was given in this very life. He says that dandastatra dhrutomaya. The danda was also given. Now, with regards to Daksha Prajapati, now poor fellow's head was thrown into the Yajna Kunda, so there would be nothing left. But with his replacement, Bhagavan Shiva is quite expert at such things. Ganapati's head, he replaced it with Gajasura. So he already knew the technology. So he said, don't worry, that can be replaced by, I have already shared the knowledge, knowledge transfer also has happened. So the Ashwini Kumaras are quite capable of doing it. So let us tell them to get the Shira, the head of the Yajna Bali Pashu, which was a goat. That goat head will replace Daksha Prajapati's head. Now Daksha Prajapati has to now work the mammoth task of a Prajapati with a goat brain. But he was equipped with that. And then he says, Prajapatehe Dagdha Shirshno Bhavatvajamukam Shiraha Ajamukham Shiraha. So he is also called Ajamukha Daksha Prajapati. So you will find in several paintings, traditional paintings, that where there is this yajna, it is being commenced, you would see a person with a goat head. That goat headed person is Daksha Prajapati. That must have been after this operation was performed, under the guidance of the super doctor who is Bhagwan Shiva himself. He is called Bheshaja in Rudram. Several places he has been invoked as the greatest doctor. Mitrasya chakshushe ksheta bhagam swam barhisho bhagaha. Now with the help of Mitra, Bhaga, who has lost his eyes, can get the substitute and see through Mitra's eyes. Whatever Mitra sees, Bhaga will also see. Now, Pusha, he eats anyway the food that is Pishtabhuk, that which has been nicely mashed. So on Sankaranti day, when we have the Naivedya, both the sweet variety and the savory variety of Pongal, it has to be completely mashed. It is not like, dana dana, dal dal, sab dikh raha hai, and then we say, oh, we eat only this. It is not for you. It is for Bhagwan Surya. And he likes it completely mashed. So give him, poor fellow, mashed food. And then he said, all the Jiva Koti that eats because they have to chew, that is, that tripti of that goes to Bhagavan Mitra, one amsha of it goes to him. So that is also taken care. Teeth were not replaced, only head was replaced. And the rest of them were given alternatives. And then there is one more. Bhruguji had, this whole facial hair was pulled aside. So I said, for him, let us put this Aja, his Aja is the he goat. So the goats have the dadi. So he said, let us take that dadi and muchi and put it on this bhrugu. So the first fashionable goatee that was ever sported, it was by Bhrigu Maharshi. Technically, this is the mention here. And then the devatas that ran away and they got smashed in this particular Yajnavedika with the help of our Ashwini Kumaras. Bahubhyam Ashvinoho Pushnoscha Hastabhyam Kradabhavaha. So they will fix all of that minor injuries. That should not be a problem. And all the Ritviks and everybody that were participating in it, the pujaris that were participating in it, they will also regain their original shape. Having thus been blessed, Maitreya Ji says, Maitreya Ji continues in the 6th and onwards, he says, upon the request of Brahma Ji, even Bhagavan Shiva travelled with them to the Daksha Vedika, where, as prescribed by Bhagavan Shiva, all of the replacements and all of the reconstruction was done. After that reconstruction was done, everybody was back in their original form, or at least close to original form. The Daksha Vedika that was completely ruined, it was reconstructed with the same enthusiasm by the Rudraganas. They were not just the able-handed who come to destroy, they knew how to reconstruct it also. They put the entire thing, the Vedika, back in its place. Sandhiyamane shirasi daksho rudrabhivikshataha sadyas supto ivottasthau dadrushe chagrato mridam. 9th shloka. Sandhiyamane shirasi. Sandhiyamane, augmented with the goat's head. Now Daksha Prajapati got up as though from sleep. Having woken up from the sleep, he saw Bhagavan Shiva and fell on his feet, offered his, but he couldn't speak much. Not because he had a goat head, now he had to do everything was meh, meh. No, not that way. He was overwhelmed with the emotion because suddenly as he touched Bhagavan Shiva's feet, he also remembered that Sati Devi and the whole episode of it. So he was overwhelmed with emotion and he somehow got control of his emotions. And then Daksha Prajapati started speaking. Hey Shambho, hey Mahadeva, I have done such great grave mistake that I had the audacity to worship everybody else, invoke everybody else, but I consciously avoided giving you your share and offering it to you. So भैया ये जो त्रुटि हम लोग करने लगे हैं, the kind of mistake wherein we say, if you are worshippers of Bhagavan Vishnu, you are the greatest devotee. If you are worshippers of Shiva, you are adhama. This kind of foolishness, please don't entertain. However great that person may be claiming it to be. Bhagavad Shastra very clearly says, Vinasha Karanaya. The whole life goes upside down. We saw Daksha's life. He lost his daughter, then he lost his head, both literally and in a figure of speech. Both ways he lost his head. First he lost it in figure of speech, then literally he lost it. Then all the Vidvamsa. So Bhagavan Shiva needs to be in that worship-worthy position wherein it is never belittled. He says, I have done such mistakes. Hey Deva, you and Bhagwan Sri Hari, you never give up on even the lowest of the devotee. And the place where I was placed, I had the opportunity to do all these yajnas, and to such one, I knew very clearly that, and those who have the, oh, okay, the two that I had given is on a sidetrack here. The co-host facility, they both left, I guess, and that's why many people were waiting who had dropped calls or whatever. Sorry for the delay to include you into the group. Hope I'll keep an eye on it and add you in quickly. Okay, continuing back. He said, when Bhagwan, you do not forsake such people who have done even a small amount of puja, small amount of bhakti, and for us, like people who were in that position where we could be blessed enough to offer such sacred homa, havana, and yaga, you not forsaking us, it only talks great about you, O Bhagavan. I don't know if I am qualified enough with my durtata that I can seek your forgiveness, blessings, and continued support on the prowess of my good deeds, because I have nothing to show, because whatever I have done is not worth showing. Therefore, I can ask of this of you only because you are that great. You are naturally such great, pleasant disposed, that I assume you would forgive me with the goodness of your heart and support me henceforth. And if I go somewhere wrong, correct me as well. I can only say that I am blessed for my dushtata. You have given me the punishment right here in this life, protecting me actually from going through several hell and hell-like situations and then get into Nicha Yoni and then come back. You protected me from all of that by this danda. Therefore, I can only seek that your continued support, and please bless me. So sometimes the entire hardware has to be replaced for some dushtata to be removed. And there's wrong convictions, and those wrong convictions have to be nullified. So Maitreya Ji continues, he says, Daksha Prajapati was forgiven by Bhagwan Shiva, and with all the Upadhyaya, Ritvik, Hota, and all the Purohits that were there, the Yajna Karya was initiated. After the Yajna Karya was initiated, at the very end, in the beginning itself, for all the Bhuta Pishacha Sansargita Dosha that was there because of the uprooting of, so first that Shanti was done, then there was, the Stotra and Stuti where Bhagwan Rudra Brihad Rathantare Chame. So there are the Samagana where there is Brihad Gana and there is Rathantara Gana. So both of them were chanted and offered into that Yajna Kunda as a offering, peacemaking towards Bhagwan Shiva. Then they started invoking the preparation for inviting Bhagwan Sri Hari. So Purodasha namak there is a Charuka Havan. So that was performed, and as soon as it was performed, as soon as those mantras were initiated and that Purnahuti was done, Bhagwan Sri Hari immediately appeared and Koti Surya Samaprabha. Tada Swaprabhaya Tesham Dyotayantya Disho Disha. 19th shloka says that the whole place was specially lit with this mild golden hue, bright, but it was not, attacking the eyes. There came Bhagwan Sri Hari on the Garuda, and then that description is given in the next 2-3 shlokas. 20th, 21st, and 22nd shloka describes that Bhagwan came with Shankha Padma Chakra Bana Danusha Gada Khadga and the shield. It looked like with all these hands, with all these Astra Shastra, it was like a beautiful tree completely flowering. That is how this beautiful presence of Bhagwan Sri Hari came in. And as soon as everybody saw Bhagwan, Adi Narayana himself has appeared, Indra, Brahma, then all the Mahadeva, including Mahadeva, Gandharva, Rishi, Siddhaganas, everybody stood up doing the stuti of that Bhagwan. First, there was an invocation of the Veda Stuti by the Sanaka Sanandana Ityadi, and then the Parshadas and the Rishiganas. They uniformly in one tone started chanting the Veda Patha, Veda Ghosha. After that Veda Stuti was done, then Daksha Prajapati, then the Ritvija, Sadasya, then Rudra, Bhrigu, Brahma, Indra, then all the wives of these Devi Devatas, all the wives of these Devas, they all also praised. Then the Siddhas, then the Lokapala, Yogeshwara, then Agni, then the Devas, Gandharva, Vidyadhara, then the Brahmana, all of them individually did their stuti to Bhagwan Adi Narayana. That which we refer to, please pay attention here. That which, because that Siddhanta is not here, so it is to be paid attention to. That which we call in Advaita Vedanta as Parabrahma Paramatma, this being Bhagavat, being the Grantha of Bhagavan Sri Mahavishnu, therefore that Parabrahma Paramatma is referred to as Adi Narayana. When we sing even in bhajans, Adi Narayana Ananta Shayana, so that Adi Narayana is that Parabrahma Paramatma. That Adi Narayana himself comes in the form of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. He himself as much says that in the very end of this chapter, that I will specifically go through. The Shakta call that Parabrahma Paramatma as the Adi Parashakti, and then the several forms of these Shakti expressing. The Ganapatyas, those who worship Bhagwan Ganeshji, they call or they invoke that Parabrahma Paramatma as Sri Mahaganesha. Those who worship Bhagwan Shiva, they refer to that Parabrahma Paramatma as Sadashiva. So all these traditions, that Parabrahma Paramatma is referred with a different name, but that Parabrahma Paramatma is uniformly one. So that Bhagwan, having received in the 48th shloka, because the stuti portion of each devatas in each Siddhagana and everything, that I just in one swipe crossed over, saying that they all did stuti. So Maitreya Ji sums it up. He says, "Iti dakshaha kaviryajnam bhadra rudrava marshitam kirtyamane hrishikeshe sanninye yajna bhavane bhagavan svena bhogena sarvatma sarvabhagabhuk daksham babhasha abhashya priyamanam ivanagha." Now, thus having been stutified, being worshipped by, offered stuti by all these who had assembled there, then Bhagavan himself spoke. That Parabrahma Paramatma himself spoke. That Adi Narayana Swarupa himself spoke. He says, now pay attention to every one of these shloka. Aham brahma cha sarvascha jagatah karanam param atmeshwara upadrashta swayam drugvisheshanaha. I am the supreme cause of everything, the substratum of everything. I myself come in the form of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha. And why do I come like these Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha? He says, Atma Mayayam Samavishya Soham Gunamayim Dvija Srijan Rakshan Haran Vishwam Dadhre Jagnyam Kriyochitam Srijan Rakshan Haran. Kasya Srijan, Kasya Rakshan, Kasya Haran. What are you creating? What are you sustaining? And what are you destroying? This is Vishwam. With respect to this Jagat, this Prapancha that we see, and most of it we don't even see. It is such vast. Because when we are talking about Srishti, we are not just talking about Hindus or Bharatavarsha or this Bhuloka. Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. That Paramatma is the very substratum for several such parallel verses or universes. So, are there parallel universes? Of course they are. For all of that, there is this Bhagavan, Parabrahma Paramatma, one indivisible Advaita Tattva. He very much says that. Atma Mayam Samavishya Soham Gunamayim Dvija. Hey, understand that because of me accepting my Shakti, which is Trigunatmika, which is Maya Shakti, depending upon the karma and the guna required for that karma, I myself come in the form of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankara. Why? These are Namadharana depending on the job description that I have taken up. How can this be? Now when the mother, when the lady turns to the husband, she becomes wife. When she turns to the child, she becomes the mother. When she turns to her father, she becomes the daughter. When she turns to her brother, she becomes the sister. Is she becoming that many, or is she, depending on the role, expressing in that particular fashion? Similarly, this Parabrahma Paramatma, depending on the different job roles, expresses as Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. There is no Bheda at all. Am I making this up that there is no Bheda? He very much says this in that very clear terms in the next shloka. Tasmin Brahmani Advitiye. Mark this shloka. Where is this shloka coming? Technically, it is coming in the greatest bhakti grantha, which is Bhagavata, Vaishnava Pradhana. In that, Bhagavan himself is coming and saying what? Yes, the greatest work of Advaita Vedanta is done by Bhagavan Vedavyas Ji, then done by Bhagavan Shankaracharya Ji. But when we say Vedanta, it means Advaita only. Why? Bhagavan himself is emphasizing it. Tasmin Brahmani Advitiye. In this Brahman, which is one without a second. It is not even saying there is nothing like it. There is nothing other than it to be like it. Therefore, Advitiya, one without a second. Tasmin Brahmani Advitiye Kevale Paramatmani. This indivisible Paramatma Tattva is one without a second, is the only one. There is nothing beyond it. There is nothing below it. Isn't this what Adi Shankaracharya Ji tells us in Tattva Bodha? Nitya vastu tu ekam brahma tad vyatiriktam sarvam anityam. The samarasyata between the Vedanta Grantha and the Bhakti Grantha is clearly seen. The oneness of message is clearly seen. Now, whoever says that there is Vishishtadvaita, then there is Dvaita, there is Nimbarka, Gaudiya, whatever be your Sampradaya. Now, it is up to you to prove how you are right. Because Bhagavan himself is saying, Tasmin Brahmani Advitiye Kevale Paramatmani. And then he says, just so that there is no stipulated controversy or unnecessary splitting of the hair of a donkey's egg, he says in the next sentence, Brahmarudrau cha bhutani bhedena agnyo anupashyati. Those who see that this Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are bheda, they are different, they are not one and the same, that Paramatma alone, that individual is called Bheda Drishti Janita Murkha. Wherever we see this divisive in that Parabrahma Paramatma, such one is called Agnyaha, Mudaha. Therefore, they do not see it, the essence of it. How much more clearly has it to be stated? पर स्वामी जी हमारे संप्रदाय में, उससे पहले भी तो संप्रदाय है. What does that sampradaya say? Very clearly, that sampradaya clearly mentions Tasmin Brahmani Advitiye Kevale Paramatmani Brahma Rudrau cha Bhutani Bhede Nagnyo Nupashyati Yatha Puman Swangeshu Sharira Panyadishu Kvachit Parakya Buddhim Kurute Evam Bhuteshu Matparaha. And the example that is taken, he doesn't take any temporary example. He takes the example that will suit any time, any place, anywhere it can be applicable. What does he say? Just like we see several divisions within the body. There is head, then there is the torso, then there are the legs, there are the hands. The hands have fingers, then the head has eyes, ears, nose, mouth. In the mouth there is a tongue, there are 32 teeth. All of these variations and divisions that we see, when you look at it from the personal perspective, because we are totally identified with it, what do I say? Yes, very rarely, but we say my head hurts. But otherwise, in that severe pain, oh, I am in such pain. It is not my head, I unfortunately have a head and that head is aching. No. The statement is, I am aching. Isn't it? Similarly, he says, towards this entire creation with the Tadatmyata, there is only this Parabrahma Paramatma who has all these limbs. If each limb thinks that I am separate or an amsha, I am, no, that would be a foolish thinking. It is one indivisible truth that we are all connected, and that is our essence. Understanding this, realizing it, abiding in it is called moksha. Now, with what Bhagavan says in today's modern day English, American English, this is the mic drop situation. Done. Boom. He has said it, what he has to say. So, therefore, he says, त्रयाणाम् एकभावानां यो न पश्यति वैभिदां सर्वभूतात्मनां ब्रह्मन् स शान्तिमधिगच्छति. The one who comes to that point where they see this oneness, and in that oneness they abide as their Atma Swarupa, such one alone will have Shanti, thereby they will have the Parama Anubhuti, not otherwise. Therefore, do not have this Bheda Drishti, which was the main flaw in Daksha Prajapati. What a beautiful 5 shlokas this is. So, in our worship, what does other Sampradaya say? The Sampradaya has something called Pancha Ayatana Puja. Many who don't understand this tradition, they say, oh, this was invented by Adi Shankaracharya Ji. Murkhatma, it was not invented by Adi Shankaracharya Ji. It is something that which is prescribed as the Sanatana Paddhati. So in that Panchayatana, there is Bhagavan Shiva, then Bhagavan Vishnu, then Bhagavati Devi, then there is Ganapati, and then there is Surya Bhagavan. Bhagavan Shiva is invoked through Shivalinga. Bhagavan Vishnu is invoked through Saligrama. Then Bhagavati through Sri Chakra. Then Ganapati is, there is a Shona Shila that you get, which is red in color from Narmada. That is invoked as Bhagavan Ganeshji. And Saurya, Sphatika. Sphatika, there is that crystal. So having these 5, amongst these 5, whoever is your Ishtadevata. Supposing it is Bhagavan Vishnu, so you have Bhagavan Vishnu in the center and the other 4 on the 4 different directions, and you do Pradhana Puja to Bhagavan Vishnu. And while you are doing your Abhisheka, Alankara, everything, all 5 are worshipped on that same very altar, of which the main puja is towards that particular form of Bhagavan. मनस लायो, मतलब समझ में आया? पता नहीं मलयालम क्यों आ गया, पर नहीं नहीं नहीं, हम तो
Sir. Swami just froze. cannot hear.
Pull several levers, and we can see,
I think Swamiji just posted that he's going to conclude this class. He said, see you next week.
Yes. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Do you want to do Hanuman Chalisa or it's okay?
Hanuman
It's
Chalisa.
okay.
Yeah, I think he's asked us to conclude, so I think we can just.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can just continue.
Okay. Yeah, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.